What is up, everybody? How is everybody doing? Happy, what is it? Wednesday? Happy Wednesday. Um, excited to be back and streaming. So yeah, I'm trying something new. We're gonna do a little bit more theme-based streams here. We're gonna follow the same rules as we usually do for these. So kind of the same stuff. What's going on, Band-Maid fan? How are you? Welcome to the stream. So it's the same thing. It's the same request stream as per usual. Same rules, but we're gonna do specifically Band-Maid. So for those of you who are frequent Band-Maid fans to my channel, if y'all want to do like Band-Maid adjacent as well, you can. So whatever that means. Any bands that are kind of related to Band-Maid, you also can do that. Sandebu, is that how you say that? Welcome in from Spain. That's amazing. We got some Europeans in here. Polska Bob's lurking. Welcome in, Polska. I see you as well. Empty, I see you. What's up, man? How's everybody? I am live on Twitch and on YouTube. Y'all can watch wherever you would like to watch. I think I mentioned this before. I don't know about you, Polska or Band-Maid fan. I know Band-Maid fan, actually. Polska Bob, I don't know if you're on Twitch or not, but eventually these streams will only be on Twitch. But I'm excited to do a specific Band-Maid request stream today. Howdy. BMCD reporting in. Welcome in, Contradictions. Y'all are showing up in troves today. I appreciate you guys. We are here. So, yep. Any requests y'all want to put in, feel free to do so. I do want to get into the rest of the documentaries. Don't correct me if I'm wrong, Polska. I don't know if you were here or not. I did Psyche and Konami. I don't think I did Akane yet, because there's Akane, Misa, and then the Kobatu Miku, the three. I think I only did two. I thought I did more than that. No worries, Polska. I don't remember if we did Akane. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure we did not. Ready to Rock. I haven't done Ready to Rock yet. No, I have not. I have not done that one. Far from Heaven. Welcome. You're okay. So yeah, we'll do those two as well. And Misa. I know it's been slow moving, Polska, but I said I would get them done, so. But other than that, any requests you guys for Band-Maid or Band-Maid adjacent, feel free to. RTR came out last week. Yeah, Ready to Rock. I haven't watched it yet, you guys. I haven't recorded much. The only recordings I've been doing has been for Patreon, so right now I don't have enough bandwidth or time to sit down and record some stuff. But stuff like that I do want to get to, so I promise I will get to it. A lot of editing happening right now that I'm trying to get out, so promise it'll happen. So yeah, again, feel free, put in the requests. Let me this. Shouldn't be twitchy, but you let me know. Ha, twitchy. Let me know if it is, and if it is, I'll fix it. The stream's gonna bounce. My camera's gonna bounce around for a second. Okay, I have upgraded. I appreciate you, Band-Maid fan. Appreciate you. Um, so I'm trying to do. All right. There's that, and then there's that. Okay. Yeah, so y'all can use the QR code up here. You can use the pinned message in the chat to request. Any of those work fine. Other than that, we are going to get into this pretty quickly here. But like I said, I do want to definitely start with Ready to Rock if you want to get the juices flowing. So I'm going to do the documentaries just because those have already been like requested and paid for that I haven't got to yet. But if y'all want to request anything else, feel free to. But like I said, these docs have been paid for like months ago, and I haven't been able to finish them yet. So, and that's from Pulse Kebab. So I just want to make sure that I at least get 1 or 2 of them done today. So I think I'm going to start with one of those if that's cool, Band-Maid fan, and then if y'all request Ready to Rock, we'll get into that. I do want to say I am going to be doing a fundraising stream on the 25th. Now, there's 3 ways you guys can be eligible for the giveaway. So first of all, I'm in cahoots here with firebids.com. So it is a bidding website, but it's not like the others. It has the users, well-being in mind. It has a lot of cool features on there that is different from all these other ones, including, but not limited to, including a golden timer. What that means is once the bid gets to a certain point, the timer for that particular bid changes to like 10 to 15 minutes, right? So it makes sure things don't get too expensive. You can use my code right now, as it says in the chat, McFlyJP, to get a free 100 points at firebids.com. But for that fundraiser, we're going to be giving a lot of cool prizes. So prizes we're going to be giving away are, I want to make sure I get this right. Hold on, let me open the message I had open. I appreciate you, Band-Maid fan, appreciate you. So the giveaway is what we're going to do is $150 cash is the biggest, is the number 1 gift. The second gift is a $50 cash. The third gift is 5,000 points on firebids.com. And then there's going to be 10 other gifts of 500 points on firebids.com. So the way to enter for that is you can become a paid member of my Patreon, a YouTube member, subscribe to my Twitch, or you can buy points on the website. So those are the 3 ways to be eligible to get in for that giveaway on the 25th. So I'm excited for that. I am part of that website. I've helped bring it up from where it is, and I'm hoping that this will help it get some notoriety as well as help me out a little bit. So again, those are the 3 ways to enter: Patreon or YouTube member, Twitch subscriber, or purchase points. So yeah, I'm excited. You guys can win up to $150. Really cool, really cool. So I'm excited for that. All right, now that business is out of the way, also got to lurk and get some chores done, but leaving you tabbed open. I appreciate you guys. We're gonna get into this this Akane right now. Hold on a second. All right. I forget. Do they call her the gorilla? All right, let me turn the music off. Turn the music off. And put them headphones in. Yup. Hey, seize the day. How are you? All right. Here we go, you guys. Should I record this? I don't think I'm gonna be able to because I didn't change it. You poop. All right. We'll do this and hopefully it doesn't break. All right. Okay, Band-Maid fans. So, we recently went through a couple of the Orenji Band-Maid documentaries. I think the two that we did were Psyche and Konami. I thought I got through more, but I guess not. You know, it's I guess not. So we're gonna go through at least Akane today, the documentary video for Akane. It's about 30 minutes, and if we have time, I also want to do Misa. Y'all know I'm a big fan of Misa. Big fan of everybody, but Misa's my favorite for sure. So let's go ahead and get into this. The Band-Maid documentary for Akane. Her drumming is impressive, better than I can do. So here we go. Why can't I hear it? Yep. Oh my gosh. I can hear that. Okay, my bad. Here we go. Still nothing? God damn it. I can hear it now. I know why. My bad. When I record, I have to mess with the audio. Okay, you guys should hear it now. Sorry.
Welcome to Hyogo Prefecture, located in the Kansai region of Japan, neighboring Kyoto Prefecture and situated very close to Osaka. Kobe, its capital, is known for its cosmopolitan atmosphere.
Isn't that where Kobe beef comes from? There we go.
Scenic harbor. This is where Akane was born on December 14th. She lived with her mother, her stepfather,
December baby,
and for a short period, her stepbrother, who is 11 years older. During her early years, Akane was very unsociable and often did whatever she wanted, such as leaving kindergarten to go home or refusing to participate in games and activities with other children. As she likes to say with a laugh, she was a real problem child. Note that in Japan, children go to school and come back home on their own.
I was just going to say drummers, man. Drummers always acting out. They're always the ones that act out.
Note that in Japan, children go to school and come back home on their own from around 6 years old. Parents usually take their kids to kindergarten or nursery schools before that age, which makes Akane's behavior particularly unusual and amusing. Over the years, Akane became increasingly friendly and realized that talking to others wasn't so bad after all. During her school years, she loved home economics and art, but disliked studying and wasn't good at physical activities. Akane was a child who wanted to try everything, often inspired by her passion for manga.
Polska Bob, this is Akane's documentary.
Who wanted to try everything, often inspired by her passion for manga, but she would eventually stop due to lack of motivation. The one activity that stayed with her through the years was music. Akane learned piano in kindergarten and also played trombone for about 5 years.
Okay, I think we talked about this because they mentioned she played trombone before, but my opinion, trombone's one of the harder instruments because if you're even like a quarter of an inch off on, I'm going to be careful with my movement, on the tube thing of the trombone, like it's a different sound, right? So I feel like that's very difficult to get used to that movement. Very difficult. Props to her. In kindergarten, crazy.
And also played trombone for about 5 years. Even though she stopped playing piano a long time ago, this talent has never left her.
ドラムを始めたのは高校2年生の頃で、ずっと吹奏楽部を高校2年生までやっていて、その時はトロンボーンやっていたんですよ。で、吹奏楽部内でドラムの
She didn't even start playing drums till 11th grade. That's crazy. So she doesn't even have, I mean, she's had practice in music, but practice in drums for not even that long.
ていて、その時はトロンボーンやっていたんですよ。で、吹奏楽部内でドラムの子と仲良かったので、ドラムを遊びで触らせてもらう機会があって、パーカッション楽しいっていう感じで遊んでました。そこからだんだん高校生の時にロックフェスやバンドにはまりだして、やっぱドラムやりたいっていう欲が出てきて、吹奏楽部をやって軽音楽部に入ったんですよ。でも軽音楽部に入ったらギターがやりたくなっちゃって、初めはギターをやってたんですよ。でも全然うまくならなくて、上達しないのでやる気がなくなってきた時に、ドラムも触ってみようかなと思ってやってみたら、いきなり8ビートが叩けて。
See, like, I feel like for a lot of musicians or striving musicians, you know, this is the new one, has a lot more voice acting. Gotcha. What do you call it? I lost my train of thought. A lot of people when they're trying to, like, for instance, for me, right? It's like I want to play guitar. I want to be a guitarist, right? So bought the guitar, started going in lessons and all that stuff. I feel like there's kind of two different people, right? There's those that when they don't succeed or they start they're not improving as fast as they want, all that stuff, they work harder to get there. And then I think there's some that it's just so demoralizing that they give up, right? I think there's two ends of that spectrum. There's also this other third outlier where it's like, well, let me try a different instrument and see how that works. So I commend her for, even though she lost motivation, to still trying something else, right? And by the way, drums would be the last on my list to try because I have horrible hand-eye-foot coordination. I can do any of the two together, but once you put all three, I'm horrible at it.
ドラムも触ってみようかなと思ってやってみたら、いきなり8ビートが叩けてあれ、私にはドラムが合うのかもって思ってやりだしたら、そこから上達していくのが結構早かったんです。それをきっかけにドラムやりたいっていうのが自分の中で決まって、マキシム・ザ・ホルモン
Guess who? Welcome in, man. Welcome in. Glad to have you.
ドラムやりたいっていうのが自分の中で決まって、マキシム・ザ・ホルモンの音楽に出会って、ドラムのナオさんの音を初めて聞いた時に、私ホルモンって全員男性バンドだと思ってたんですよ。ドラムが女の人だったことにめちゃくちゃ衝撃を受けて、女の人でもこんなドラムが叩けるんだって。女性ドラマーって可愛らしいとか音が柔らかいじゃないですけど、その頃そんなハード系のイメージを。
Yeah, see, like this is kind of what has plagued, like, for instance, baby metal and all those bands, even Band-Maid too, where it's like they see, you know, cute young females, so like, oh, they have to be like soft rock or whatever. It's like, nah, man, look at the Warning, you know, look at Freeze to Fall, look at Band-Maid, look at baby metal, look at so many different bands that rock hard, pause, but they're an all-female band, right? Like, we got to get out of this cute and soft if it's a all-female band.
可愛らしいとか音が柔らかいじゃないですけど、その頃そんなハード系のイメージを持ってなかったんで、ナオさんの音を聞いた時に、もう女性とか男性とか関係ないんだな、女性
Roger, I see you!
できるんだっていうのを証明してくれた人物だなって。そこから自分もこういうドラマーになりたいと思ったんです。男性だから女性だからっていう偏見、壁を壊したいん
Good
です。
for you, Akane. Good for you.
別に女性だからこういうドラムじゃなきゃダメ、男性だからハードな曲とかそういうの関係ないんだよっていうのを伝えていけたらなとは思っています。
Many musicians start young and stick with the same instrument for years. Akane, however, discovered her passion for drums very late, making it more challenging for her to master the instrument. She started to learn drums
Makes
by
sense.
herself, practicing songs from bands she enjoyed, such as El Garden and Bump of Chicken. As she didn't own a drum kit,
And we heard
El
Bump of
Garden
Chicken?
and Bump of Chicken. As she didn't own a drum
Pretty
kit,
sure we have.
Akane could only practice once a week at the school club, where she would go alone to enjoy playing drums. Her first purchase was a double pedal kit.
So, like, for me, right, I played guitar and I took lessons once a week. But when I wasn't at lessons, especially starting out, man, I was practicing like 3 hours a day during the week, maybe 1 hour on the weekends, on top of having lessons, right? Like, that's how you get better, man. You just practice, practice, practice. You need to live with the guitar in your hand. I forgot who the artist was, but they used to sleep with their guitar. It might have been Angus Young. But, yeah, man, that's rough. To only practice once a week.
That she quickly gave up on after realizing it would require extensive practice to master. Nonetheless, Akane was fully committed to learning the drums and improving her skills. But before starting her musical journey, Akane had other aspirations, far from sitting behind a drum kit.
なんか可愛がってて、結構みんな懐いてくれるのが嬉しくて、でそっからもうずっと保育士さんになりたくて、高校も保育の学校行こうとしてたりとかはしてたんだけど、なんか気づいたらドラムやってた。そう
そういうことと、どこの気づいたらだと。
そう、高校3年生の時に急に美容師になりたくて、で美容院でバイトさせてもらったりしたんだけど、そこ謎の1年間だけは美容師になりたいと思ったけど、それ以外はもうずっと保育士一本で考えてた。
謎の1年間って面白い。
謎の1年間は美容師
謎の1年間だったね。
そう。
I mean, we all have those mystery years, right?
By the end of the school year, she gathered some friends of hers from her old symphonic band days to do a graduation live performance as a copy of the Japanese instrumental band Pez.
I appreciate you, Roger Chance. Roger, thank you for hanging out. I know this is early for y'all. We're having a good turnout, though, so I think these day streams are working out well. But yeah, if y'all want to put in requests right now, specifically Band-Maid, feel free to do so. Right now, we're going over this documentary because this was already requested a while ago from Polska Bob. He dropped the cool hundo for this, so I want to make sure I get these done. This one's very interesting, man. Like, the fact that she's as good as she is, and maybe we've only been playing for, I don't know how old she is right now, but say 11th, 12th grade to now, maybe 6 to 10 years, and be as good as she is pretty wild.
As a copy of the Japanese instrumental band Pez. In the summer of her third and final year of senior high school, Akane decided to abandon her aspirations of becoming a hairdresser and chose to enroll in a music school. Against the will of her teacher, but with the support of her parents, she went to the Tokyo School of Music in Shibuya for 2 years to follow her passion. She was surrounded by talented students who had been playing drums for many years and aspired to become professional musicians. In her class, Akane learned to play songs by ear and how to effectively work on creating a cover. Even though she was just a beginner.
32, 33. Oh, so she's like close to my age. So 33. Bro, I don't even know. I'm assuming 11th and 12th grade is the same age as we are out here, give or take. So 16, 17. So she's been playing for like 18 years. That's a little bit different. That's different.
Beginner in her class. She worked diligently and practiced every day to catch up with the other students. After her graduation, Akane looked for work and was hired as a waitress in a music bar in Yokohama, where she could enjoy live music every day. When she mentioned to the bar manager that she played drums, Akane was given the opportunity to audition for the house band. She performed Deep Purple's Highway Star, embracing the idea of playing rock songs. Akane was immediately hired to play drums and received her first payment as a musician.
Nice.
From that day onward, every day became an opportunity for her to train and improve. This marked Akane's first step towards becoming a professional musician.
Yeah, it's I know I'm stopping it a lot. It's so interesting, like everybody's musical journey, right? There's a lot of people that's like, I've been playing since I'm 5 years old, and then there's the other spectrum where it's like, well, I didn't play till high school, right? Me, I didn't start playing till I was in junior high. But everybody's musical kind of path is different, you know, and everybody learns in different ways and learns or progresses faster than others. I know people who have been playing since they were 5 who are still like intermediate, and I know people who have been playing since they were like 20 who are now super advanced, right? So it's all different for other people, but I'm liking that she just went for it, you know? She wanted to be in music any way she could. She started with guitar, she started with piano, she started with all these different stuff, and then she found the drums, or the drums found her, I guess, and she stuck with it. So many people give up. I mean, I'm one of them, man. I gave up on music because I was making little amounts of money, but making some money in music, but I didn't see it as a lucrative way or a consistent way to make a living. So I gave up on it.
At the time, while still learning drums at the Tokyo Music School, Akane played at a joint concert and met a young support guitarist from another band. Just like Akane, she started playing piano at a very young age and found her instrument during her high school years. Her name was Konami.
Yeah.
The two musicians became good friends really quickly, as Akane didn't have many musician friends around her age, and they found out that they lived in walking distance from each other in Yokohama, a port
That's crazy.
very close to Tokyo. After spending some time together, Konami asked Akane to record the drums for her demo songs, showing how much she acknowledged Akane's skill. They even talked about forming a band together in the future without fully committing to this idea. Until one special day when Konami passed the audition to join a newly created band. At that time, Akane was performing at a music bar in Yokohama, but wasn't part of the band. She quickly realized she wasn't suited for supporting roles and wanted to form her own band. It was perfect timing for Konami, who immediately reached out to her friend right after the audition.
かなみがものすごく申し訳なさそうに話し始めたのを覚えています。プラチナムパスポートって事務所、あかねちゃん知ってる？みたいな。
Miku started Band-Maid, and it's Akane that really unlocked the rest of the band. I think we were mentioning this, we were talking about this before, but Akane's too like the most outgoing, right? Like she's the most social, most vocal. I think that makes sense, man. Usually they're the ones that kind of take that step to like, I don't want to say be serious about it, but like kind of take the experience by the balls and push it forward, right? That makes sense to me.
プラチナムパスポートって事務所、あかねちゃん知ってる？みたいな感じで。 私も事務所の名前は知っていたからすごいじゃんって言ったんですけど、その後でもねガールズバンドでと言われて悩みました。私ガールズバンドは絶対にやりたくなかったんです。でもかなみからバンドメイドの話をもらったのがちょうど横浜のレストランが閉店してしまうことになったタイミングで、これからどうしようかなと考えていた時でもあったんです。だからかなみがいるならいいかなって答えました。でかなみがありがとう、そしてごめん、衣装がメイド服
She's like, sign here. All right, cool. Now that you sign, we're gonna be wearing maid
なんだ
outfits.
と、かなみは私の好みを知っているからそうやって話を小出しにするんです。
At first, Akane wasn't sure about joining an all-female band and having to wear a maid outfit.
I mean, the maid outfit thing I understand, but it's kind of wild to think that. And again, the culture in Japan is probably different than out here, but it is 2025. Things have changed this year. But to not want to be part of an all-female band as a female seems strange to me. But I think it's, if you're looking at it from a like success angle, obviously like nowadays there's more female-led bands that are successful. There really hasn't been throughout history, especially in rock, specifically in rock. So I get the apprehension there, but I mean, hell, I think it all worked out.
Konami sent her some demos that she found really cool, and the contrast between the cute outfit and this type of music attracted Akane. She felt her reluctance fade away as her motivation grew stronger. Finally, driven by her aspiration to develop as a professional musician and her trust in Konami, Akane passed the audition and became the second member to join Band-Maid.
Band-Maid. Crazy. They'd be so fun to see live, man. Akane was in 3 other bands, all girls, all disbanded. For not wanting to be an all-girl band, she sure was in a lot of them. I mean, I get it. They were all disbanded. I think it has to do with like having the right band members in your band, the right timing for everybody, and the right similar motivation for everybody as well.
This was just the beginning for Akane, who still had a lot to learn, especially for fast-paced songs using double pedals. Thrill was her first challenge with the use of this technique.
I haven't heard this one yet. Oh, this is sick.
Even though it was a painful experience for Akane, everyone loved when double pedals were added into a song, which led to more and more parts for Akane to practice during the recording of new songs. Since 2016, Konami is the composer of almost all Band-Maid songs, and there are 2 things that she
The mastermind.
likes: fast-paced songs and challenging her bandmates. This was a problem for Akane, who struggled to play the double pedals over 100.
22 million views. I mean, dude, that song sounded amazing. Like, again, I've said it a lot for their stuff, but that definitely sounded like more of an old school vibe. But 22 million views is wild. And I know they have like epically large fan base in Japan, but 22 million means something. I definitely want to see that at some point. Watch that video.
130 beats per minute due to her lack of practice. After Thrill, the members committed to writing more hard rock songs. So, Akane needed to be able to keep up with Konami's compositions. Akane thought of using muscle memory to train her legs and improve her movements. aiming to play faster. She tried to move her legs whenever and wherever she could, as if she were playing on double pedals, so her legs would remember these movements. Akane is not the type to refuse a challenge or admit that she can't keep up, so she kept training hard and continues to improve her speed and accuracy even today.
I mean, there we go. So sick, dude.
自分のせ
I mean, it makes sense, man. Like, you want to challenge yourself and you want to keep practicing. I think that's something that I still struggle with, is like, if I can't figure something out, especially if I'm like learning a song that's, ouch, that's not my song, right? Like if I'm trying to learn a song that's hard, I immediately want to be like, all right, let's play it how it's played. Like, you know, say it's 140 beats per minute. Let's play it 140 beats per minute. And I'm not getting it at all. Not getting it. I try to break it down into sections, right? At the same speed. And of course, everybody plays differently and learns differently. But really what you should be doing is trying to slow it down to half the BPMs and play it and see where your fingerings struggle, right? And try to work on those fingerings in particular and break it into sections. Then slowly start speeding it up. And once you start getting to a point where you're struggling again, you got to practice at that speed. And once you get that speed, keep moving up, etc. Right? So there's like a process in how to practice, at least for a guitarist there is. And that's how you work at it, man. You slowly get to where you need to be. For me, right, I'm a perfectionist, and I don't know, I'm sure all of these girls are, but these women are, excuse me. I'm sure that they're perfectionists. So for me, like, I would want to do that like 10 times in a row, be able to play the thing almost entirely perfect, right? And that technically is not going to happen. So that's where I get frustrated. It's like, I couldn't do it, so I don't know it. It's like, well, you do know it, man. Like, it's not going to be perfect. Oops, sorry. It's not going to be perfect 100% of the time. 230 BPM is wild.
「自分の成長を感じられたこともあってチャレンジ精神もより強くなったんです。それにみんなが自分のパートを難しくしていっている分、私も自分に試練を与えようと思って、
Exactly, there you
見れ
go.
なかったという達成感もありますね。こうしてメンバー内で刺激をし合えているのはとても良いことだと思うんです。
So, right, she said inspire, and I think before they talked about challenge. I think those two words, essentially you're doing the same thing, but the connotation of those two words are a little bit different, right?
こうしてメンバー
Inspire has a positive connotation to it, right? We're inspiring each other to play better, to be better, to do better, right? But challenge, like, yes, challenge is good, but not a lot of people want to be challenged in their life, especially with things they love to do, right? I don't want a challenge. I want this to be fun. So I'm glad that she said inspire. But yeah, that's how it works, man. We don't all want to be in this happy, content little bubble, no matter what we do. It doesn't matter what, if it's music, you know, painting, you know, if you work in a trade, it doesn't matter. You want to always be inspired to keep getting better. And I think being challenged is a tool to be inspired.
内で刺激をし合えているのはとても良いことだと思うんです。
On December 4th, 2015, at the Shinjuku Club Science, Akane was replaced by a male drummer for just one performance. The reason was that Akane suffered from a back injury at this time and wasn't able to play drums, even though she came to the show disguised as a staff member to support her bandmates. 2 months later, she
That's
tweeted
cool.
a photo of herself holding numerous drumsticks with messages written by fans from all over the world. Since this event, Akane has mentioned in various interviews that she visits an osteopath for body maintenance and massages. In 2020, when COVID struck, the members had to adapt their way of working to create new songs, as they were unable to meet in person to rehearse and record.
Yeah.
With this in mind, Akane learned drum programming to assist Konami during the songwriting process. She also learned how to use a DAW, or digital audio workstation,
Yep.
which is a software designed to record, edit, and produce music. Before, when Konami asked Akane to record a phrase, she played and recorded the drums in the studio, which is muffled and has a lot of echo. By using a DAW, Akane was able to work more efficiently with Konami and exchange data directly, making the process much easier for everyone. After all these years of creating songs, rehearsing, and performing live with Band-Maid, Akane continues to refine her skills as a drummer in every aspect, whether by working on the basics, increasing her speed, or managing her stamina.
I think that one is like the roughest one, especially for a drummer, man. You're constantly moving around, right? You're waving your hands up and down. The stamina thing is big. It's for singers too, right? Especially if you're in a band where there's a lot of fry vocals and screaming and stuff. Like, you're using a lot of energy to do all that. I think stamina is the big thing. So many people worry about speed. In my opinion, I think speed is not the most important, because there's plenty of slow songs that are really good. But speed is an important tool to have, right? But don't just focus on speed. Inspiration breeds growth. 100%, man. 100%. I think inspiration breeds growth, but I also think forced inspiration, like trying to inspire somebody who doesn't want to be inspired, is the key to failure too. So like, you got to find that happy medium where it's like, inspire somebody who is willing to be inspired, and then from there is where growth happens. But 100%, you're right.
Or managing her stamina.
There you go. Whoops, sorry. Get it. This is what I'm saying, man. You're using your entire body for this. Sick. Inspiration, accuracy and stamina for live performance. Why is
after joining Band?
Of course, my keyboard dies. Accuracy and stamina for live performing. Smiling helps. Always smiling. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a forced thing either. I think she just loves playing the drums, and it's just a reaction, like a natural reaction for her playing the drums, right? 100%. It helps to see somebody having fun. Then you're enjoying what they're enjoying, right? The stamina for live performing, yes. But I do think that stamina is, you have to think about it this way. Yes, you're emitting a lot of energy during a show, right? But say you're utilizing 90% of your energy, but you're only doing that for a couple hours, maybe 3 tops. I've never seen a show that's 3 hours, maybe a couple hours. But if you're recording in the studio, maybe you're using 80%, but you're in the studio for 3 to 10 hours a day. So like, yes, stamina for live performing, but honestly, stamina is more important, I think. Honestly, accuracy and stamina are both more important for studio recordings, my opinion. They're important for live performances, but the longevity you need to have to be able to go for hours and hours and hours in the studio is important. It's important. And accuracy, especially for a drummer, making sure you're, on a click track or whatever, important. Because that little millisecond difference could change the entirety of the song, make it harder for everybody else to record who's recording on a drum track, all that stuff.
Band-Maid, Akane and Konami started a side project called Mochi to Cheese with 3 members of Predia, an idol group formed in 2010 under the same agency as Band-Maid, Platinum Passport. The band started to perform acoustic covers in the streets and even performed live a few times over its 2 years of activity. A single was released in 2015 with 2 songs composed by Konami. But only 2 months later, they sent their last tweet and posted their last entry in their blog. Their YouTube channel is still available, so you can at least watch a fraction of their performances.
Nice.
That's not all. Between
That was a vibe.
2015 and 2016, Akane had another side project under the name DJ Achi, where she primarily played J-rock music. DJ Achi performed for about a year at various venues where she met many people. She even invited the other members to join her.
Band-Maid fan. I mean, you said it, dude. Yeah, I won't disagree with you. I also think too the really, really, really amazing vocalists will sound good all the time. But there are some good vocalists, notice I didn't say great, good vocalists that will just sound bad recorded on a shitty cell phone or a shitty camera. Just as how it is. But yeah, they weren't that good. That's fine. It's fine to say that. Live show is a lot of energy for a short period, longer time for your mind to wander in the studio. I mean, I guess that's right. But the thing is, that's where the stamina comes into play, I feel. Yeah, because like you said, it's a short period of time. So stamina is more for long periods of time. So really for a show, you just need to have a lot of energy. And then that means it'll just take longer for your energy to deplete. Stamina, though, means the energy needs to be able to last a long time. That's kind of how I differentiate in my head. I could be totally wrong, but that's why I just think it's... And stamina, too, I feel like does include focus. If you're losing focus, then you need to build up your mental stamina to be able to focus on the task at hand. And you're right? I did my drum part. It's perfect. Now let's get the guitarist in here. The guitarist records for an hour or two. Then they find, maybe we need to change this drum part here. So now you have to go back. It's a lot of that stuff, too, where everybody's in there for 3 to 6 hours. You might only be playing for an hour or two, but you're in there, collaborating with the entire band for that 6 to 8 hours. So it's a lot of tedious stuff and frustration and perfecting to get to that overall end product.
And enjoy the experience together.
Anime.
There's more to Akane than just her music career. First, she eats a lot. Much more than the average Japanese person.
Hey. 30 plates. Yo, that is crazy, actually. I can eat maybe like 12 plates of sushi, and then my stomach will hurt and then like 2 hours later I'll be hungry. But 30 is absolutely, that's wild.
And enjoy the experience together. There's more to Akane than just her music career. First, she eats a lot.
She ever entered a food eating contest? Like I don't know, any of them? She probably would be great at
more
it.
than the average Japanese person.
もう本当に私大食いなんで、ラーメン替え玉5玉と回転寿司だと30皿食べます。
ほー。回転寿司の30は無理やって。
That's what I'm saying.
この前やってたじゃない。
俺この間やったんよ、プライベートで。ラーメンの替え玉俺昔5杯ぐらい余裕で食えた。そんな俺が回転寿司20いけると思うやん。もう16皿ぐらいからビターンとまず。19貫目に食うたウニ。トイプードルに見えましたもん。喉にトイプードル入れてるぐらい。最終的にそこで吐いて終わったからね俺。
本当に。
食えんの？
私食べれます。30皿はすごい。
That's crazy.
結構いろんなとこに。
Wouldn't be fair. She would win. It just means that she probably has high metabolism, and she's also utilizing, like I said, a lot of energy.
私食べれます。30皿はすごい。
普段結構いろんなところに大食いしに行ってるんですか？
行ってます。この間わんこそば行きました。
わんこそば？
はい。私120杯行きましたね。120杯。大体女性の平均が50杯だそうで。
うわー、やるね。
You can see Akane eating in several music videos, such as Don't You Tell Me.
She's got to keep the energy up. Dude,
And
she's
Secret
scarfing
Michael.
that down. Yeah, we just watched this.
Akane has introduced herself with the nickname Gorilla for a while now. And you may be able to see Akane eating a banana during MCs. On the US Tour 2022, she even threw signed banana peels into the audience at the fans' request.
Signed banana peels.
Akane is also one of the funniest people.
Yeah.
Always
I can
finds
see
a way
it.
to make everyone laugh with her funny faces and her silly behavior. Sometimes, Akane is just naturally funny.
この時間はハードロックバンドバンドメイドのバンドメイド日本をお送りしますぽー。そして今回はなんとこの人が来てくれましたぽー。
バンドメイドの茜のドラム。
What did she say? I missed it.
バンドメイドの茜のドラム。
I'm the drums of.
バンドメイドの茜のドラムです。よろしくお願いします。
茜のドラムですってどういうことぽ逆だ。
もう一回いいですか？すいません。
はいもちろん。
はい、はじめまして。バンドメイドのドラムの茜です。よろしくお願いします。
はいお願いしますぽ。
もういきなりやらかした。もういいや。
さすがだぽあちゃん。もういいやじゃないぽ。
諦めないよ。
There is one more thing
See
to
that?
know about a
Even in like a funny exchange where she was like, I'm done talking because she was embarrassed. So like, no, you gotta keep fighting, keep going.
ないよ。
There is one more thing to know about Akane, something she has enjoyed
Likes
since her
anime.
childhood. Japanese animated TV shows, commonly known as anime. Akane occasionally posts about the anime she watches and enjoys on Instagram. And when she was younger, she was easily influenced by animes like The Prince of Tennis or Slam Dunk, which inspired her to try different
Hey.
sports.
私、アニメが大好きなんで
I appreciate you, MP. Thank you, sir. Or madam. I appreciate you. Thank you.
すね。アニオタなんですよ。一番最初に見
たアニメは多分小さい頃にセーラームーンだったと思うんですけど、
Actually, I'm trying to think if it was that or Pokemon, but the first two animes I ever watched were Pokemon and Sailor Moon. So there we go. And then now I'm watching my third one ever, which is I'm watching Demon Slayer right now on the Patreon. So if y'all want to check that out, that's there. Videos released soon on YouTube, but I'm kind of getting my feet wet with anime right now, and I love the art, like actually the drawing and the art of the show, but like the writing is always crazy. I'm a fan of Japanese writers when it comes to video games, when it comes to movies, when it comes to stories, so I'm not really surprised that I like it, but yeah, man, I'm enjoying it.
大好きなんですね。アニオタなんですよ。一番最初に見たアニメは多分小さい頃にセーラームーンだったと思うんですけど、もちろんセーラームーンもすごいハマってグッズもいっぱい持ってたんですけど、セーラームーン以上にハマったのがカードキャプターさくらです。
By the way, the new song Ready to Rock is the opening theme for a new anime, Rock is a Lady's Modesty, that just started last week. Pretty good. It's on High Dive. I don't know if I have High Dive. I have an app where I have access to pretty much any movie, TV show, video ever made in the history of time. So it should be on there, but we'll see.
Akane
I can check it after
her
this.
Passion for drums later than most, starting to learn the basics on her own with the only drum kit available at her school. Eventually, performing covers of the bands she admired. Inspired by Now, the drummer of Maximum the Hormone, and her aggressive playing style, Akane decided to fully commit to her new passion and enroll in a music school to pursue her dream of becoming a professional drummer. From a child who wanted to try everything but couldn't find the motivation to keep up, to a truly passionate musician, Akane continually gives her best to live for and from music. Practicing drums every day at school to end up playing drums with the house band of the music bar where she worked. Being invited by a trusted friend to join an all-girl band, performing cool songs while wearing cute outfits. Akane has always impressed with her unique drumming style. She makes everyone laugh with her funny faces. She takes care of her friends.
Imagine like you're just trying to perform, and especially if you're a singer,
everyone laughs.
And you
with
look
her
back
funny
and you
faces.
see that.
She takes care of her friends when they are sick. She spreads her joy with her laughter and isn't afraid to show her tears. No matter how hard it was, no matter how many obstacles she faced, Akane destroyed everything on her way with the biggest smile. In the end, we can say that Akane is truly the happiest drummer.
I mean, factual. She looks like she's having so much fun back there. Really cool, man. I gotta say that the okay. So first of all, these documentaries are super well done, man. That to have a script and get some voice actors in on it, the way they edit in everything. As somebody who edits my videos very poorly for these music reactions, it's not easy to just kind of clip or find clips. First of all, it's hard, but to find those clips, clip them, put them in the right spot, make it look pretty, make the transitions nice and all that stuff is a lot of work. And I don't think people really realize how much work it takes to put in, or how much work it takes to get that final product like that. Rip tiny hat. But so I want to put that out there. These are really well done documentaries. And like I said, I've done a few documentary type videos for myself that I've never posted. They take so much time and effort. And I know I complain in quotations about the editing time it takes for the music reactions. Oh boy, do those take a long time. This stuff takes forever. So props to them for that. I think, like I said, Akane's story is really interesting because she kind of started later-ish in life on the drums. She was trying to find her way. She was trying to find her way in music. She knew she wanted to do music. She wanted to play an instrument and have music be her life, but she wasn't sure where. She tried piano, she tried guitar, right? She just couldn't get the guitar down, and when she found drums, that was it. And her dedication, right? Knowing that she was probably one of the lower skilled people in her class, to keep fighting, keep practicing it with what she had and what she could do, and fighting to get to where she is now. It's amazing, man. I think that is inspirational. Like, if you love something, then go all in. Go all in for it. And that's kind of how I live. I'm an all or nothing type of person when it comes to things that I do. You know, if I can't give something my all, then I don't want to take the time and waste my time putting effort into something I can't put my all in, because I'm not going to be able to get out of it what I want, right? So I'm in agreement with that attitude. But seeing how happy she is and funny, and apparently she can eat a shit ton, really cool, man. I like that story a lot. I like that story a lot. All right. If you are on Twitch, let me actually get there. Hold on a second. All right, so I'm doing this new thing since I am on Twitch also. For those of you who are on YouTube, you can go on Twitch and watch me there. Pretty soon I will be doing pretty much all of my streams exclusively on Twitch. You can blame YouTube's copyright for that. But there's my link for the Twitch. If you want to watch there, you definitely can. But because of that, and Twitch likes to add in the ads whenever they see fit, and I don't want you guys to miss what our reactions and stuff, I'm trying to do a 2-minute ad break at the top of the hour. So it's about to be 2 o'clock. We just finished a reaction. 2 o'clock my time. I'm gonna do a 2-minute ad break real fast, and then from there we can get into the next stuff. So again, if you guys have reaction requests, feel free to put them in now. Otherwise, we're gonna go ahead and do the next one on the documentary. So let me do this 2-minute ad break. All right, I'm gonna go get some water. If y'all want to take a bathroom break, get some water. I will be right back. Those of you on YouTube, you're not going to get the ad break, unfortunately. I don't know if you're still here, far from him. I know you said you were busy. I don't know if we can run an ad break or not, but either way, I'll be right back. I got some food too. All right. It's hot as balls in here. I think it's time to put my AC in here. All right, so we'll do this. We'll do this next one, which I believe is Misa, right? I'm excited for this one. As you all know that come into the stream, Misa is probably my favorite member just because I don't know, I love her. I just love her the way she plays. So I am excited to hear this one. Anyways, we'll go ahead and get into it. Again, if you guys have any requests to put in specifically for Band-Maid, let me know. Otherwise, after this, I'm not sure what else to go through. But yeah, if y'all want to put in some requests, feel free to do so. All right, I'm gonna start the record. Here we go. All right, we are continuing on with these RNG documentaries for Band-Maid. We just finished Akane's, and a really interesting one, talking about when, you know, she started playing the drums and how she kind of had to go through a bunch of different, you know, instruments to kind of get to that point where she realized the drums were the ones for her. She can eat a ton, all that stuff. But I think that this one is the one I'm most excited for, is Misa's. As you all know, Misa's my favorite band member just because of, I love all of them, by the way, but just because of the way she plays, her attitude on stage, all that stuff. It seems to be that when I'm analyzing these songs, right, because that's what we do on the channel, there's always something about the bass that I have to say for every single song. Well, I've talked about each of the band members and what they're doing in certain songs. Pretty much every song, I'm like, oh, the bass sounds killer, blah, 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 right? So she's had an impact on me for sure. So let's go ahead and get into this. This is the documentary, Misa's portion. Get into it. Misa is the last one RNG is going to remake. Are these all remakes? Like he remade his own documentaries, or are these remakes of a different documentary? I'm just curious what that means, like what the remake thing means. Oh no. Oh no. Sorry, I saw a reactor I'm not a fan of. All right, here we go.
じゃあ次はベースミサにしましょう。
ミサちゃん。
ミサちゃんは1回目で言ってびっくりされるのはステージドリンクがウイスキーストレート。
That's right. That was the other thing. She drinks whiskey on stage. A woman after my own heart.
でびっくりさ
The originals have a section where other YouTube girls talk about their playing styles. That's the only difference. I mean, that would be interesting, but I like how clear and concise these ones are.
ミサちゃん。
ミサちゃんは1回目で言ってびっくりされるのはステージドリンクがウイスキーストレート。
本当にあの人酔っ払うんです。
ねえ、もう本当に2時間とかはまあ長いとやったりしますが、
すると結構後半はもう、フラフラというかベロベロというか
ベロベロですぽね。出来上がりつつある感じですぽね。まあでもよりね、なんだろう、グルービーなベースを
そうベースの演奏が良くなるから
緊張しいだったりちょっとするところがあるので、
ピュアだから
とてもバンドメイドで一番純粋なところを持ってるの。
見た目は
That's really cool.
クールビューティーな、
クールビューティー
アジアンビューティーな感じなんだけど、
海外からのね人気はすごいですぽね。
一番ですね。
ミサミサってすごいコールが大きい。
That's like, here I am thinking that I'm thinking outside the box, liking Misa over everybody else. And apparently she's the most popular, so I guess I'm not that different.
多
Whatever.
いですもんね。
一番ですね。
ミサミサってすごいコールが起きるぐらい。
だって怖い印象を受けるもんね、最初は。
あんまりこう喋らないからね。
そうそうそうそう。怖い人だと思ってましたっていうコメントよく見る。
ね、でも小学生みたいなね、ことで、すごいくだらないことでミサちゃん一番笑うし。
変顔。
So she likes fart jokes.
一番そういうの大好きだもんね。だから怖いとは一番真逆にいる。
一番面白い人かもしれない。
そうだっぽね。バンドメイドの一番面白い人だっぽね、きっと。
With an introduction like that, I think we can figure out who's going to be highlighted in today's video. So today, let's talk about Misa.
The whole getting drunk thing and like playing better is funny to me. So I used to be in a band. This in college, early college, maybe late high school, early college, and the other guitarist in the band who kind of founded the band, whatever, used to drink Jack Daniels and smoke right before we would, or while we were practicing and performing, and like he was good, sober. But when he drank and got drunk, he was like in this other level. Like it was other world. It was almost like he went from like, oh, he's pretty good to like, holy shit, dude, what was that? That was so good type of difference there. It's just funny how for some people like helps them get to that next level, and for others it totally like ruins everything. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I think with 1 or 2 beers where I'm like no longer inhibited by stress and anxiety, I play better. But if I'm drunk, I play like shit. So I commend and am jealous of people who are able to like play better when they're drunk, I guess.
Misa.
I mean, it gives them an excuse to drink.
Misa was born on October 15th in Okayama, a prefecture close to Osaka, and next to Hyogo, where Akane was born. According to her mother, she was an easy child to raise, as she used to play by herself. Even though she was a lively child, she always avoided dangerous situations and tried to act like an adult. She loved music.
Dude, that picture is wild.
Situations and tried.
So first of all, she's showing her stomach, but this is a face, and she has a cigarette in her belly button. Bro.
To act like an adult. She loved music and arts in general, but hated studying. And just like Konami and Akane, music has been a part of Misa's life since her early childhood, as she started to learn piano when she was around 4. In elementary school, she joined a brass band and played alto horn. Right when she entered junior high school, Misa moved to Tokyo due to family circumstances, and her temper changed a lot. She had a hard time fitting in with life in the big city and getting along with her peers from the same grade. She was also afraid to be judged because of her accent, which was different from the other children, and became more and more introverted. In 7th grade, she started to play guitar, but ended up joining a concert band in 9th grade, where she played the trumpet. Even though she...
Wow, dude. It's so strange, like, that I was drawn to her from the get-go. And again, like, she's more talented than me, so don't get what I'm about to say is like, oh, we're the same, but very similar sequences in life, right? So let's go back, because I think it's important.
Alto horn. Right when she entered junior high school, Misa moved to Tokyo due to family circumstances, and...
So 7th grade is junior high. So for me, throughout my entire school career, I was in one area, right? So I made friends in those areas and kind of went from school to school and all that stuff.
Her temper changed a lot.
And I was pretty outgoing. I remember I think I got like, I didn't get voted class clown in my elementary school, but it was something like most likely to start a conversation or something like that in elementary school. And then I got to junior high and stuff changed. I don't know. junior high is when everybody's going through puberty and all of the hormones, and everybody's thinks they're all grown and invincible, and I just got into a bad place. So that's when I became super introverted, and since then I've just been introverted. I know you guys can't tell from the streams, but I have social anxiety. I'm very much an introvert. I'm one of those introverts that also doesn't like silence. So if I'm sitting here, or if I'm having a conversation with somebody that I'm already anxious and nervous about, and there's silence, I'm going to find ways to ramble and ramble and ramble. But the rambling gives me anxiety because now I'm just talking nonsense, right? So then, yeah, I create my own issue. But I'm going on a tangent. What was next? So, and then in junior high is when I started playing guitar. So I think it was 7th grade. So a lot of similarities here between kind of upbringing and things that happened in life.
She had a hard time fitting in with life in the big city and getting along with her peers from the same grade.
Same.
She was also afraid to be judged because of her accent, which was different from the other children, and became more and more introverted. In 7th grade, she started to play guitar, but ended up joining a concert band in 9th grade, where she played the trumpet.
Right. In 9th grade, I also joined the high school band. I played guitar though, but I joined band just because I wanted to be able to play guitar while at school for something. So I just joined it so I could have that opportunity, right?
Even though she did learn a lot of different instruments, she kept learning piano for a few years. In high school, she played as a guitarist vocalist in a Keon club with a Fender Squier model that she bought.
Yep.
One day,
starter kit.
An older friend of Misa asked her if she could join his band as a bassist. Until then, she'd never thought about playing bass. She started to play guitar and always wanted to play drums, but bass?
Interesting.
It had never crossed her mind. Misa borrowed a bass and started to play. And even though it was difficult, she loved it and bought a Squier P bass immediately so she could give back the bass she borrowed. And one of the main reasons Misa got introduced to music at such an early age was that her mother listened to music all the time. This is how Misa got to hear bands like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and The Who when she was still only in kindergarten.
Yep.
Her mother was also very supportive.
So my dad has a big influence on my musical taste. My stepdad has a big influence on my musical taste, right? My stepdad listened to a lot of classic rock. So yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's classic now, by the way, guys, in case y'all were wondering. Red Hot Chili Peppers, but back then classic was like, Led Zeppelin, Soundgarden, what else? The Who, he mentioned The Who, Lynyrd Skynyrd, like all that stuff was classic rock. AC/DC, Def Leppard, like classic rock stuff was what he listened to. Yes, right? All those bands. Parksker, thanks for the raid. I appreciate you. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate you very much for that raid. Thank you. Welcome in. We are doing a Far From Heaven. I see what you did there. Thank you for the raid. We are reacting to some of the Band-Maid documentaries here, and we're doing Misa. So welcome in, everybody. I appreciate you guys being here. What's good, bro? Welcome in. I hope you had a good stream. Hope you have a good day. We're just vibing right now, going through the Band-Maid documentaries, and we're talking about Misa right now, the bassist. You can hear a lot of that influence in her playing. So like, my wife's B-Day dip. I'll catch you soon. Happy birthday to the wife. Hope you did some cool stuff. I appreciate the follow, Parksker. Thank you. I appreciate you stopping by. But and then because of that, I got into at that time what was modern rock was Soundgarden, Pearl Jam. What else was kind of in that realm? Red Hot Chili Peppers, Rage Against the Machine. So like that was my whole wheelhouse, right? And then my dad listened to stuff like Chicago and Earth, Wind and Fire, that stuff. So I got like the jazz rock from him and the classic rock from my stepdad, right? Stream was awesome over there today too. Nice, glad to hear it. But But yeah, you can definitely hear her influences in the way she plays bass for sure.
Borrowed. And one of the main reasons
Jesse
Misa got introduced to music.
Real quick, because I forgot to do this. Shout out at Parker. Everybody go follow Parker. Support Parker. Thank you, Parker, for the raid and hanging out. Oh, phone call. Be right back. God, you just got here, Jesse. What the fuck? I'm just kidding. Everybody go follow Jesse. Y'all know Jesse. He's another reactor. I don't know if it's the same. I actually don't know what his thing is on Twitch. DVLMNT. I'm gonna go with it. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, go follow Jesse. Great content creator, great reactor, great producer and mixer of music. He's my go-to for a lot of different stuff, and for mixing, which I haven't done in a little bit. But Jesse's also a good friend, so appreciate that. Go support. By the way, speaking of, I'm gonna try and be in other people's streams and support people in their streams. I've been really bad at that. So I want to be better. But all right. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. All right, let's keep going.
Music at such an early age was that her mother listened to music all the time. This is how Misa got to hear bands like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and The Who when she was still only in kindergarten. Her mother was also very supportive and helped Misa choose the right school when she hesitated between university and professional college. Misa started a course on sound engineering in a professional college.
There we go.
Before changing to a bass course, as she didn't want to work behind a stage, but on stage as a professional bassist.
That's so interesting. So I kind of took the opposite approach. And again, I'm just relating this to me because it's interesting to know like people's different, again, paths in life, right? I wanted to be a performer. I wanted to be one of those person. Broken families seems to be a common undercurrent with Our Ladies. Thanks, brother, for hosting Rangy's documentaries. Oh, for sure. I mean, look, dude, my I don't want to get hugely into my story here because that's for another day. But when I was 4 years old, my parents divorced, and it was ugly, man. Like without going into a lot of detail, at that time, all I knew was my parents arguing, right? Basically, like yelling at each other, all of that stuff. I can't be at the same house, going back and forth, trying to figure all that out with them, right? That was a thing. And to this day, like, it's affected me in how I am in my own relationship. You know, like, I have this issue where I feel like every argument is going to be the one to end our relationship. It's just not true. Like, you have to communicate, you have to talk, you have to work things out. And then there's also the stuff about my mom being mentally emotional abusive. But I think that stuff, while you don't want anybody to go through it, and it's absolutely not necessary for this, that stuff a lot of time breeds great artists. It's unfortunate, but it's just how it is. But real quick though, I started off as wanting to be a performer. I wanted to be playing live shows. I wanted to do everything that I could to perform and play in front of people. And I'm older now. I don't have that desire anymore. Yes, I want to keep playing. I want to mix. I want to learn how to do all of the plugins and, you know, maybe add a little bit of more compression here or EQ here or add some saturation. Like, all that stuff is interesting to me, and I'm still learning, and that's what Jesse's helping with. That stuff's more important to me or more interesting to me now as I'm older. Also because I don't have the energy to perform anymore. But so it's kind of a contrast here, but really interesting to get that perspective still. I wish she stayed in that course just so that, well, that's not true. I wish she had also taken one of those courses to understand a little bit more about that, because when you understand a little bit more about that, you have more respect for how you record when you're recording in a studio.
Before changing
Not that she's bad at that. I'm just saying you have more respect for it.
to a bass course, as she didn't want to work behind a stage, but on stage as a professional bassist. Before talking about Band-Maid, let's take a look at Misa's past experience in the music industry. Except for small bands during her school years, Misa had been a member of a band named Prototype for 5.5 years between 2008 and 2013.
We listened to a Prototype song, didn't we? I think we did.
Prototype was a small band composed of 4 members, and the band made at least 2 mini albums and performed several live concerts. We don't have that much information, but it seems that they sold their CDs directly and not via music stores. They used to perform in and around Shimokitazawa, which is where Misa lived. And
By the way, y'all, one of my dream vacations is to go to Japan, man. I really want to visit. My wife's kind of open to it. She wasn't before, but she's open to it now after hearing so many people say it's so nice. It's on my bucket list to go. So once all the kids are gone and doing their own thing, I think maybe my wife and I will go. But so I really want to go. Like this right here looks, even though it's like super pretty in terms of a view, this type of life right here, like walking down the street, there's life happening all over the streets. I love that. I love that type of thing. I'm not a big city person. I do like cityscapes, but like having this amount of people walking the street and stuff is really cool to me.
used to perform in and around Shimokitazawa, which is where Misa lived, and Shibuya. There is a review of one of their live performances which states that they sound like the Smashing Pumpkins and are appealing to everyone who loves Western music. The person who wrote this review also said that they couldn't stop smiling.
Hold on one second. My bad. My cat got out. Fucking. I don't know how long she's been out because my wife's not come outside. And the only time she can get out is with one of us come outside. So she's probably not here for a few hours. Polska Bob with the $10 ready to rock. I appreciate you, Polska. We'll do that. We will do that right after this. All right. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Polska. You are an amazing and incredible person. Let's keep going with these. I'm enjoying these, man. To get to know the girls and kind of how they got into their instruments, into the band, and all that stuff is really cool.
It sounds like this band must have played some great music. But that's not all. While she was playing for Prototype, Misa joined another band called Hurtist. This band was formed with 6 members who performed live several times before disbanding in October 2012. You can find 3 of their live videos on their YouTube channel. Misa and Akane also met in 2012 as they were going to the same school, the Tokyo Music School. They connected immediately as instrumentalists and worked together on several projects. The same year, they made an appearance as actors in an MV of the singer-actress Becky with the song Yoruka Switch. In 2015, Misa, along with Konami and Akane, were at the 5th anniversary party of the idol band Predia in Zepp Tokyo as a backing band. You do remember the link between Predia and Band-Maid, right? There was a band called Mochi to Cheese made by Akane, Konami, and 3 members from Predia. All right, we are in May 2013. Prototype announced that they will disband in July, and Band-Maid posted an audition announcement on May 29th. The next month, on June 5th, Misa announced on her old account linked to Prototype that she's going to an audition. Does this mean that Misa had the perfect timing to join Band-Maid?
I mean, it sounds like fate to me, and I don't necessarily believe in fate, but it sounds like fate to me. The timing on that is crazy.
That Misa had the perfect timing to join Band-Maid? Let's see how she was recruited. In another interview, Misa confirmed that Akane tried to recruit her into Band-Maid right when Prototype announced their disbanding. But Akane didn't know about this information, so she was bold enough to invite Misa to join another band. And it paid off. Now, Misa has said that she was in izakaya when Akane called her, and she was pretty drunk, so she had to take at least the night to think about it. Misa listened to the demo and found that the songs were proper rock music and cool. She was actually afraid that this band would be an idol band. As she didn't want to stop playing bass, Misa quickly accepted the invitation to join Band-Maid the day after Akane talked to her. So in the end,
I like this just so nonchalantly. As she was drunk, it's like, damn. You were mentioning before, I think Band-Maid fan, you were saying like doing that for 10 to 15 years. I know a lot of people who are functioning have been doing it for 30 years, man. And honestly, I drank heavily from 13 to 24, so 11 years. And that 11th year, I had to stop. It was getting out of hand. So maybe you're right.
Want to stop playing bass, Misa quickly accepted the invitation to join Band-Maid the day after Akane talked to her. So in the end,
she knew.
Miku recruited Konami, who was found on Nico Nico. And then Konami recruited Akane just after the restaurant she was working at closed, and Akane recruited Misa just after her group disbanded. Wow. If that
little chain
is not fate, I don't know what is.
See? That's what I'm saying.
Now that Misa had joined Band-Maid, it's a new start for our favorite bassist. A new start, yes, but with one problem. The maid outfit. Misa was never into cosplay, so she wasn't used to wearing this kind of clothing.
So the thing that's funny is like, I'm pretty sure all of them said that they didn't like the maid outfit idea. And yet here we are. They're all in it now. Japan is so nice. That's what I keep hearing, man. I want to go.
Our favorite bassist. A new start, yes, but with one problem.
Yeah, stuff like that like doesn't happen unless it's supposed to happen. You know, the fact that, first of all, it wasn't the same band member recruiting everybody, right? It was one recruited one, and that one recruited the other one, and that one recruited the other one. And it just so happened that it all happened when they were all free and able to join another band when the band needed somebody. Crazy.
Now that Misa had joined Band-Maid,
Misa hates shoes.
New start for our favorite bassist. A new start, yes, but with one problem. The maid outfit. Misa was never into cosplay, so she wasn't used to wearing this kind of clothing. She felt really uncomfortable during the first live shows and with the first version of her outfit. It was also around this time when Misa thought about quitting Band-Maid. It was during the first or second one-man performance and Misa was already working a lot in addition to her work for Band-Maid, so she was in really bad physical and mental condition. She felt that the music she liked was too far from the music she played with the band, and started to think about leaving and forming a band where she could play the kind of music she liked.
I mean, that's fair, man. That's really fair. When I joined the band I was in that actually released an album, when we first started, we were very much experimenting, right? And a lot of those songs ended up on the album. But when we started to try and create a song for a second album is where my motivation kind of went down, because we weren't playing stuff that I like to listen to. And I know that in some cases, right, what you like to create is not necessarily what you like to consume. But for me, I like creating stuff that I like to also listen to or watch, whatever it might be. So I understand that, man. And I kind of checked out at that point when we started doing that stuff, which is not great. Again, I should have spoke up, but I did not. But I understand that especially if her mental and physical health is like deteriorating, I understand the need to leave. I'm curious to see if the girls kind of rallied behind her or what happened.
Was too far from the music she played with the band, and started to think about leaving and forming a band where she could play the kind of music she liked. She talked to the manager, who proposed that she take a good look at the view from the stage at the Masters and Princesses and decide after that. Thankfully, the reactions and responses from the crowd that day moved Misa deeply enough so she chose to stay with Band-Maid. She was sure that this band had great potential.
Yeah. Yep. It sounds like to me, Misa has the vision to know like when things are gonna work and when they're not gonna work. By the way, I've mentioned for their stuff too that I love the crowd's energy. It kept Misa in the band.
And could become way bigger. Time flies by, and we are at that moment where Konami is writing songs for the band. From world domination, but more in Conqueror and Unseen World, Misa actively participated in songwriting on her bass lines and has felt more freedom since then. Konami gives out notes from time to time depending on the song and what she has in mind. While writing music, Misa thinks more about what would serve the quality of the song rather than be sure that it's playable immediately. She had difficulties recording some songs of Unseen World because of that, but she managed to get them recorded in the end by spending more time on the hardest parts. And even if a song is really difficult for her, Misa will always practice enough so that she doesn't have to look at her hands while she's playing live. For example, the first part of No God was written by Konami, and she asked Misa to write the rest of the song. At this time, Misa was learning bass and drum programming, so she wrote those two parts, including her solo.
So funky.
It was a new experience for her, and she had to send.
Yeah, man. That I think that's a really good perspective to have on when you're writing music. Write music that's going to work for the song. Don't write music that's going to be tailored to how much you can play. And I know it sounds almost self-defeating, but as long as you write something that you know you can learn, you're fine. I think having that chokehold on your songs based on, I don't know if I can play this. Well, better get practicing, you know. You want to write what's best for the music. Very good perspective to have.
Riffs to Konami it was a new experience for her, and she had to send new riffs to Konami every week for Unseen World. And although she obviously sent her demos to Konami,
every
Misa used
week
to send them to another member, Psyche. Misa sent her work to Psyche to confirm that her bass line was easy to sing with, and also because Psyche praises her a lot. And Misa loves to be praised by Psyche when she's working on a new song. As she wrote in an interview, I just send them to her without saying anything in order to get praised by her. That's my source of energy. That makes me enjoy drinking better.
Bro, she's
What
legitimately an
a great
alcoholic.
group of friends they are. There are two particularities regarding Misa when you see her perform on stage. The first one is that she never wears shoes when she's playing, with some exceptions on very hot days during outside performances, as the stage can get really hot. This is something she has done since the beginning of Band-Maid. You can see her wearing shoes in some MV, but most of the time, she likes to play barefoot. She answered a
fine.
question from a fan in 2014 on Twitter saying that heels hurt her feet and are really hard to walk in, so she chose not to wear anything at all. Misa
Fair enough.
ended up with the nickname the Barefoot Assassin. Why? Well, first of all, she plays barefoot. And during the Gold Rush interview, when the band was asked about the maid outfits, and particularly Misa's, which didn't look like a maid outfit, Miku answered that it's an assassin maid outfit. The second thing you'll notice about Misa is that she always has a bottle of whiskey on her amp while performing live. And she
Yes.
even drinks in the MV of Don't You Tell Me. If you look closely at every performance, you can spot the bottle that she drinks during MCs.
Bro.
During the US tour in 2022, she even had her own opening ceremony where she opened a can of beer in front of her mic
Yes.
to make a loud sound, and the audience really loved that moment.
Yes.
Misa used to open a can of beer or drink whiskey during MCs for a long time, and she even shared a bit of her whiskey with a fan in 2019 during a concert in the New York Mercury Lounge. She is
Dude, that's so cool, man. As a lightweight avid whiskey connoisseur, that's cool, man. I think it's funny, like that's something, again, social constructs, but that's something that people mostly think of like, oh, that's a male thing to be like, is that into alcohol, that into whiskey, that into beer, right? But that's sick, man. It's fun. Like, yeah, be healthy, but it's really fun to see her having fun, and that if that's her vice, man. If it works for her, it works for her.
MCs for a long time, and she even shared a bit of her whiskey with a fan in 2019 during a concert
And getting the crowd involved?
in the New
Come
York
on.
Mercury Lounge. She is thought to be the one who drinks the most, but if you had a chance to listen to the Radio for Omesu-sama episode aired on August 1st, 2021, you would learn that they all actually drink a lot, except for Konami, who falls asleep before she gets a chance to drink. Despite her love for alcohol, Misa tweeted in May 2022 that she came to realize that it was too much for her and she decided to be more careful in the future. And now it's time to talk about Misa's
Very
lifestyle.
mature.
As usual, I'll let proper bassists present their thoughts to you on what they think about Misa.
Okay, we're gonna get into the other YouTubers talking about. So here's the thing, right? With the drinking stuff, and I'm trying to finish this so we can do that request. Like if it were up to me, I would have a beer or two every day, right? And that's because it makes me relax. It makes me be less anxious all the time. But that's also really dangerous, right? I don't drink because I'm a parent. I don't want to come home and be tired or loopy when I need to parent, right? That's the thing. You said it wasn't until Thrill, their first single after LP won, they went harder and it stuck. I really want to listen to Thrill, man. That song sounds crazy. But I liked what I've heard so far, and I think I've heard some stuff from before they went harder and after. And I like all the stuff, but yeah, the drinking thing was tricky, man. Like I said, I would have 2 or 3 beers a day if I could, but I also know that I need to be responsible and like be available and not passing out because of my kids. So, oh, Renji just posted something. So glad that she was mature enough to be like, I need to calm down a little bit, right?
And now it's time to talk about Misa's playstyle. As usual, I'll let proper bassists present their thoughts to you on what they think about Misa. Gentlemen, if you please.
So what makes Misa a great bassist? First of all, she went to musical school, so she learned a lot about music theory. You can see that in her playing. She's constantly moving around the root note, adding or removing note at the end of her phrases.
Gotcha, Polska. Thanks.
Changing the tone by going all over the neck and not just staying at the low end. She masters all the playing styles, finger style, slap, pick. She knows when to use them and always use the right one at the right moment. She can switch from one to another in a blink of an eye, like when she does her pick flip to switch from pick to slap. Her right hand work is so smooth and precise. It's mesmerizing. When it comes to her role in the band, she's a lead bassist. She can flawlessly jump from just playing the root note to taking the lead or providing an harmony to the vocals, and all of this in the same bar. There is no boundaries in her playing. That's what makes her so interesting and very inspiring to me. She's my favorite bassist, and I hope to hear her and Band-Maid for a lot more years.
When I think back about all of the bands that I've loved for many years, so many great bass players. But when I think of the bassists who really excited me, or more importantly, the ones whose parts I wanted to learn how to play, I think they all have kind of one thing in common. And that's the use of the bass, not just as a tonal and rhythmic foundation for a song or that kind of glue that holds a band together, but they use the instrument as another source of melody and melodicism and musicality. And I think there are far fewer of those kinds of bassists out there. So imagine my delight as a bassist discovering Band-Maid, where you have Misa, who's just constantly up and down the neck, playing what aren't super complicated parts, but making these really musical choices about,
100%
here versus a note here. She's in many ways a counterpart to Konami in that they're always expanding on a riff or adding new textures or new little motifs. They may play something fairly straight the first time, but after that, forget it. And it's not, again, like the parts are super complicated or technically difficult. They're just really smart, or for me, the big thing is that they're really musical.
How would I describe Misa's play?
That's a really cool emote. I really like what he said there, because he made it a point to say, like, it's not even so much that the parts are complicated, which what we're hearing, right, is that they are, but it's not so much that the parts are complicated, it's the intent and the overall thought process behind structuring the melodies to fit the song and make the song, hit another level, right? That stuff's important. That's really important to me. Like, anybody can play doom 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 doom, like, can play the notes to keep a song going. Literally, I think anybody could. I could grab my daughter when she gets home from school, bring her in here and say, okay, I want you to play these 4 notes. She could play the bass to a bunch of different songs that are out there, right? That's great. How you gonna take this song and make it better by using the bass as a main instrument, as opposed to just a rhythm section, part of the rhythm section. So I really like what he said about that. Let's keep going.
Complicated or technically difficult. They're just really smart, or for me, the big thing is that they're really musical.
How would I describe Misa's playing style? That's a talk.
Also, hello, BM for Life. I appreciate you being here. Let's go.
Really smart, or for me, the big thing is that they're really musical.
How would I describe Misa's playing style? That's a tall order. What makes her special to me is her writing and her flawless ability to judge what to play and when to play it, without shying away from taking up space. She doesn't just serve the song, filling out the lower frequencies, locking up with the drums. She's actively creating a large portion of what makes the songs what they are. The groove, drive, momentum, anticipation, tension. It's like all her parts serve a purpose larger than just playing notes that work in the right tempo. She really adds another thick layer to the onion that is Band-Maid. One of my favorite habits of hers is when she's having a bit of a bass solo during the guitar solo, as can be heard in Manners and Reincarnation, for example. It's so backwards to the old tropes about backing down during a solo, but it's always so tastefully made and never distracting, rather the opposite. She also has this ability to tap into what the other instruments are doing and create her own parts from that, seamlessly switching between what instruments to follow. A prime example of that can be heard in the second verse of About Us, especially in the live version. She starts out by establishing the groove with the drums for the first 3 bars, and then a fill during the 4th bar, setting herself up for the next 4 bars, where she gradually starts playing off the vocals. The first 2 bars...
See, man, like, this thorough breakdown of her parts is really, really cool. This is the kind of stuff I've done in the past, and I'm not saying this to push it, but I've done this in the past on my Patreon, where I, like, do specific breakdown of a song and talk about each section and what the intent here is, and why making these note choices leads to being able to do, you know, this next set of note choices. It's really interesting to hear what people think about that, but it's also, like, interesting just to know what the intent is for it too. But I think it is really cool to hear from musicians talking about it. But here we go.
4 bars, where she gradually starts playing off the vocals. The first 2 bars by matching the vocal phrases subdivided by 16th notes, and for the second 2 bars, now the transition is complete, and now she just plays a lower harmony to the vocals. After that, she immediately switches to locking up rhythmically to Kanami's octave climb for 1 bar. And then, for the last bar, she rounds everything off with a little fill of 16th notes, almost like a drum fill. All that during 10 bars. Her playing and writing is a big reason why I keep coming back to their music over and over again.
Thank you very much for taking the time to share your experience and knowledge and your feelings regarding Misa's playstyle. I wonder what you...
So, the thing too, right, is with what they're talking about, you don't want to be so out of the thought of, like, I don't want this to just be a rhythm section to the point where now you're no longer a part of the rhythm section, right? Even bands or groups that I've heard, like, where the bass is a melodic instrument, they still have another bass player playing bass, right? So you still need that driving force for the song, but it's finding that happy median where you can be the driving force, but also you can have your melodic, you know, moments, your soloing and all that stuff. And I feel like they're very good. This section where he's talking, I'm listening to her playing bass. She's hitting the 16th notes, right, with Akane at the same time. Again, driving the rhythm, but she's playing a melody. It's not just she's playing, you know, to move the song along. She's playing a melody to the 16th note of the drums, right? So meshing with the band, but also kind of doing her own thing, right? That's what it's all about.
Feelings regarding Misa's playstyle. I wonder what you, the viewer, what do you think of Misa as a bassist? I'm very interested to know what's on your mind. Let's move to the end of our journey. Misa learned to play a lot.
So he asked me, I've said it plenty of times, I think she's a very good bassist in terms of technique, but really where I think she strives is her writing ability for the songs that she plays on, right? I think playing any instrument is threefold. You have being able to perform it, right? So like the skill that you have, the technical skill, being able to write your parts to fit with the band, right? And the third thing is, and this is kind of lost on everybody, is your ability to improvise and flow with issues or changes. Basically, like be spontaneous and still have it fit the song. Those are the three major things you need to be able to do as a musician, especially if you're performing in a live setting. She's good at all three of those, but I really do think she strives with her, for lack of a better term, pen game when it comes to writing parts for Band-Maid. So, her parts for Band-Maid. That's where she strives. I think the parts she writes are incredible. I think that they've mentioned it, but her being able to kind of pick and choose which notes need to be higher in the fretboard, which ones need to be lower on the fretboard, that stuff is important, man. That can make or break a song. And when you're playing 16th notes, there's so many notes, right? To be able to pick and to be able to make sure that you're not stepping over another instrument, stepping over the singer, being able to navigate that with your band members, right? All really clean. And of course, she is super talented, right? At her technical skills as well. So, yeah, man, one of my favorite basses for sure.
To the end of our journey. Misa learned to play a lot of instruments, and even though she knew which ones she wanted to learn, she ended up playing the one instrument she never even thought about. From the moment she picked up a bass, Misa never stopped playing it. She loves bass so much that she even switched courses to become a professional bassist and live from her passion. In the end, Misa ended up with Band-Maid thanks to the boldest move and the perfect timing. And Band-Maid is a band where everyone shines. Everyone has a moment in every song. We're used to seeing guitarists and drummers being highlighted, but bassists? That's not very common. How many bands that you listen to allow their bassists to really shine? I'm talking about bands with two guitars or a guitar and a piano. I'm sure you can find some examples, but
Earth, Wind & Fire, Chicago. I had another one. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Damn it. I had another one. I can't think of it. But 4 out of millions of bands is crazy.
Since its creation, Band-Maid has always found a way to allow Misa to find her spotlight. From thrill to influencer.
See, like,
or even manners. During live performances,
see, like, out of all of those, to be real with you, all of them are sick.
From thrill to influencer.
This one, I want to hear Thrill, but this one I'm intrigued, right? This kind of prog rock sound with the bass. Woo-wee! All of them have their own signature guitars. I think you told me that before, which is really cool. Hell, I'll get a Misa signature bass.
Dice. Or
tone on that one's crazy.
During live performances, introducing a song, or to go crazy on a duel with Konami.
Not to shit on your parade, Polska, but a lot of bands do that. I just think a lot of them are under the radar about it. I know Polyphia is one of them. I know even AC/DC, both their guitars have their own guitars. There's a lot of bands that do that, but I hear what you're saying though. Yes, it's incredible that every single person in this band has their own like signature instruments.
Misa's personality is mostly introverted. When she is on stage playing bass, she seems finally free and is having the time of her life.
Yo, that hits hard.
She even learned programming and participated actively in the songwriting process. Since she joined Band-Maid, Misa followed her passion to become a professional bassist and surrounded herself with the best group of friends who have become very close to what we can call a family.
honestly, man, like, I'll let it. So everybody can see the credits. Okay. Yeah, join the community Discord for Band-Maid. Lots of cool people in there. I actually haven't joined it yet. I need to. So I will do that in a second. What's really interesting about her, and still my favorite band member, by the way. What's really interesting about her is you can tell, like, a lot of the other ones like the performance. She does too, but they like the performance. They like a little bit of being kind of a center of attention in terms of performing. It really does seem like she's out there just to play music, have fun, and drink beer. Like, could life get any more simpler? Like, again, I don't want to generalize, but as a dude, like, we're pretty simple creatures, guys. Like, that sounds like a grand life right there, in my opinion. You know? So, like, props to her for that. But, yeah, Misa's my favorite. Still my favorite after watching all of these. I do like that once she found what she, like, her instrument, she stuck with it and did what she could to play that instrument. And she's not afraid to challenge herself. She's not afraid to, like, have to kind of go against her comfort zone, like with writing and mixing and stuff like that for the bass. But she also was willing to share her work, even if it's unfinished, to you know, show it to the rest of the band. Which, even no matter how close you are, guys, like when you have a passion for something and you create it, it's very hard to muster up the cojones, the courage to send an unfinished thing to somebody, right? That's why I haven't listened to it yet, but that's why I respect and thank Jesse for sharing some of his product that he's working on, because I know it takes guts to do that. Konami is the only Japanese guitarist to have a PRS special edition guitar, male or female, and only about 9 altogether, including Santana. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. I didn't know there were that many bands. What do you mean? What do you mean you didn't know there were that many bands? I mean, if you were to look up like signature guitars, Polska Bob, you'll find like hundreds of them. Like hundreds of them from band members. She practices a lot. She posts Insta videos often. That's the thing, man. If you want to be good at what you do, you need to practice. Like, I'm talking like 3 to 6 hours a day of just practicing. I used to do this when I had the time, but I've heard horror stories of like before shows that a lot of these bands, when they're practicing, sometimes earlier on, they would practice so much that they'd have bloody hands, bloody fingers, that they almost weren't able to play the live shows. But as a bassist and a guitarist, I understand that, man. Like, you want to get everything you can out of yourself to make sure that you're practicing. Yeah, Misa's my favorite bass player, and I would accept her challenge to the game of the drink. Jesus Christ. Yeah, man. I'll challenge her to a drinking game. Even if I lose, at least I'm drinking, you know? That used to be my whole thing. Where it's like, my friend was always super competitive with like beer pong. I'm pretty competitive too, but, and he would get pissed when he loses. I'm like, dude, why are you pissed? If you're losing, you're drinking more than the other person. Isn't that what this whole thing is about? Like, we're here to drink, man. We're winning either way. We're either winning at beer pong or we're winning by drinking. So that many bands with singer guitars, Polyphia makes sense to know about AC/DC. I could be wrong about AC/DC, but I'm pretty sure it's not as uncommon as people think. Yeah, AC/DC, first one on the list. Queen, Motorhead, Grateful Dead, Pearl Jam, Sepultura, Alice in Chains, Bon Jovi, Billy Joel. Bands with signature instruments: Nirvana, Autograph, A Day to Remember, Avenged Sevenfold. Like, that's just the name of a few. So a lot of bands have signature stuff. But yeah, it's there's a lot. So anyways, I appreciated these documentaries. They're really cool. It was fun. I think Misa's was the most fun in terms of just like relatable to my life, and she likes to just drink and play music. Like, how could you not relate to that, man? How could you not find that fun, you know? Let me check something real quick. All right. running out of space for my videos. Oh, that's a Ren song. That's a Ren song. Both can go bye-bye. Now how much space do I have? 47. I just doubled it from 4 videos. Absolute insanity. Sorry, I'm making room so I can record this. I haven't had the time to do this yet. I don't know what this is for. Don't know what this is for. Don't know what that's for. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do your request now, Pulse Kebab. And then I do got a jet. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess. So your request was Ready to Rock, right? Band-Maid, Ready to Rock. Why is this person at the top of the reactions for this? It's so frustrating to me. There's only been 2 people that reacted to it? Nah. Band-Maid, Ready to Rock. Reaction. No, okay, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5? Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. So, I don't know if you guys saw, but I was in the chat. The live chat for this, but I didn't have the sound on just because I didn't want to ruin it. But anyways. Only just got the notification. It's all good, Dazed and Confused. We're doing one more request right now, and I'm probably going to call it. Like over 100 reacts already? Okay, yeah, they just didn't show up. It's all good. People need to fix their titles for their reaction videos then. All right, we're going to get into this right now. Appreciate you, Dazed and Confused. We are going to listen to Ready to Rock right this second. So I'm excited to listen to their new one. I've been wanting to do it for a little bit. So let me start the record button. Actually turn all this stuff off. Here we go. All right, Maniacs. So I actually was aware of this new song from Band-Maid, Ready to Rock. Came out 6 days ago, about a week ago. I was in the live chat for this. And I know there was a bunch of people in the chat. I didn't have the music running though, but I was in the chat kind of being there for, I guess, what do you call it? Support? But I wasn't listening to the song and I haven't watched the video. I just had the chat open. So I'm excited to get into this. Ready to Rock, the official music video for the anime Rock is a Lady's Modesty. Really cool that they're doing music for an anime. Really cool to just have new Band-Maid all together. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Before we get started, please make sure you go to Band-Maid's channel, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on them. Always support the original artists on the channel. If you like what I do, make sure you like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell on my channel. Best way to support me, Patreon. It's about a cup of coffee a month. It's actually the cheapest way to support me, and it's the best way. So if you do like what I do and you feel like supporting, that is great. But no obligation there at all. All right. Without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get into this. Band-Maid, Ready to Rock. Stoked for this. Holy shit. God damn. Okay. All right. This fucking blew my head off from the right from the beginning. We're gonna start over. I want to mention the chaos that is happening with the guitar. Right? That's like a. It's almost like an EDM dubstep, intense dubstep beat or sound happening in the back. coming in hot with the drums. Okay, I see you, ladies. I see you. Start from the beginning. Reminds me of BYOB from System of a Down, that riff. Yes. See, I mentioned I can't speak. Too many things to say. They're all trying to come out at once. I've compared them to RX Bandits before, and probably most of you don't know who that is. But they do a really good job of creating these like progressive riffs and putting them together in an artistic way, right? Seen to reference System of a Down. Just that riff sounds like the beginning of BYOB. But this like, and with the mix too, and it might have just been recorded this way, but right, the for that verse or part of the verse, right, it's the right guitar, then the left guitar, then the right guitar, then the left guitar, and then both of them together. It keeps on with this chaos feel, which is 100% intentional, right? Yeah. It's so interesting. Their writing is so crazy. She's going like way up high on the fretboard on the guitar, and she's wailing. Like this is not playing power chords. You know what I'm saying? Like I love this. A little bit of a scream there was cool. Yeah. It's about Misa's bass. We have to. Right? Do. Right? And it's not like that's not the melody that's happening the entire time. Back to the hook. Okay. So I'm totally drawing a blank on the musical term for it, but essentially they're hold on. Yeah, this part. So this whole time there's been chord progression happening, right? But now they're doing this kind of half-step drop until they're getting back to the tonic. For those of you that don't know what a tonic is basically getting back to the one of the key. So they're doing this kind of half-step drop in chords. Thank you, Band-Maid fan. God damn, chromatic. Thank you. Yeah, this little chromatic thing here is super cool to add. again, it's chromaticism is not in any key, which means it's in every key, if that makes sense. Right? Like, because it's not in a specific key, it can be in any key you want it to be in, no matter where it's played, as long as you don't stick to each note too long. Does that make sense? So like, that's what's cool about chromaticism. As long as you're in and around the right notes for that key, you're fine. But that chromaticism leading back into the hook just gives it another like, ooh, it feels so good. What does that remind me of? Oh, it is a dubstep song. Okay. This song is wild. Oh. Triplets. Yep. Oh, I didn't hear that the first time. So the bass and the rhythm guitar are playing the chromaticism, but who did you say was on the right? Konami is playing the same lick and it doesn't move at all. So there's contrast there. Ooh, really cool, man. Bro, that is obviously not impossible, but that little riff right there is so difficult to play. Not difficult, it's just strenuous. We got some synth in there too. So much chromaticism in that solo also. There's like a slight change in tempo. Sorry, I keep rewinding. It's the same part. Chaotic solo. Yes. Before we get too far, composition really cool. Hold on. That whole arrangement right there is sick. We have chaos happening on the guitar. I think it sounds like she's playing some octaves. But hasn't played that before. Silence and then a build up. It's over? No. Halftime to close. Did I miss it? I was so focused on everything else. No. Is it? Yeah, it is. The reason I didn't hear it was because the bass drum is still playing the same 16th notes, but the rest of it, yeah, is halftime. See, like, some of that stuff gets lost because there's so much going on. So, 100% amazing song. I think this is my favorite one. I think it's my favorite one. For only for the simple fact that, like, it has everything that I like in a song from a rock band that is not, like, outplayed in terms of, like, we mentioned AC/DC. I love AC/DC, but that type of rock is so played out, you know? I love bands who can take risks and make things that are really intricate and find a way to put it in this nice and pretty package that's palatable for the general audience, you know? RX Bandits is great at that. I think they are a little bit more, like, a little bit out there for some people. I feel like this band finds a great way, and it has a lot to do. It has a lot to do with Psyche's voice, but I do think a lot of it is how it's written and arranged. They're able to take a lot of these complicated things, like they're playing their asses off in this song, right? But if you're just listening to it and singing along, you might not necessarily know that they're playing their asses off. And the arrangement is sick. How they're going left, right, like panning all the instruments is really cool. A lot of bands do that, but they don't let them have their own parts most of the time, right? So like right guitar, right guitar, then together. That type of stuff doesn't happen very often in a rock band that I can think of, right? Yes, it's obedient chaos, 100%. So it's just really interesting to listen to the writing and arrangement that goes to this. They've grown a lot in that, for sure. The bass and guitar weren't, but the drums and vocals were half. They do that a lot. The drum bass drum was not, but the rest of the band, yeah, was. It's so interesting, man. It's so cool. I have a lot. I think this is like one of those songs that I really wish that I had the time to sit down and break down each individual instrument and talk about it. We might do that maybe the next Band-Maid stream. I'll do that and we'll talk about it and kind of break each of them down, because there's so much happening that there's a lot I want to say, but I also want to have that particular part ready to go, and I don't. But that was incredible, man. Misa's bass line, also obviously killer. She has like a funky way of playing too, which is really cool. And then the drums were crazy. She came in with those drums hot immediately. Kind of came in with those drums hot immediately, and it took me back. The crazy chaos in the guitar all the way throughout. This is right up my alley, man. This is perfect. This was a perfect song for their newest song. It's a perfect song to end with today. And I really, really enjoyed it. That was sick. That was sick. All right, guys. Misa is funk. 100%. 100%. She plays funky. And that's the best sounding bass is funk bass, my opinion. All right, guys. That was fun. I had a lot of fun today. Ready to Rock was crazy. That song was crazy. I enjoyed watching the documentaries with you guys as well. I felt like it was a short stream, but it's been less than 3 hours. I enjoyed today. I'll be back again with a stream tonight, a regular reaction stream, and then Thursday we're doing a couple as well. So I'm glad you guys hung out and we enjoyed that. We got to talk about our girls here on Band-Maid that I've grown to love. But I appreciate y'all hanging out in the stream. Is there anybody that we can raid on Twitch? Let me see. Let me see. Go to twitch.tv. Paul, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for letting me know you like the stream. That means a lot. Thank you, Polska, for that request. And for Al, that was a whole Polska stream, honestly, because you also requested those the documentaries as well. So yeah, I don't see anybody else that does reactions on here, so I think we're gonna call it. But I appreciate the love and support y'all have been showing me. Thank you guys so much. Please do remember that good vibes are contagious. I'll see y'all tomorrow, or tonight, excuse me. Bye. Herman is a goat.